Views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host.
We cannot warranty or guarantee the details of any of the stories we share, since we are not directly involved with these stories, at least not most of the time. Enjoy the show.
This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. It's Safety Wars for Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, Election Day. If you are out there online waiting to vote, continue to wait to vote. Hold on, we got a situation here. All right, so as usual, we are broadcasting at home. All right, that's Jessica. Any predictions, Jessica, on the election? No. I think that's the smartest game in town. Let's not have any predictions. Let's not do anything with the election. Too close to call. Yeah, I figured I'd wear the collared shirt today, not the baseball jersey. Why? Because a little bit more formal. So let's talk about this. Talk a little bit more seriously. We're going to be having updates throughout the night on our Rumble channel. That's Safety Wars on Rumble, jcptechnical services there. Not on... no, what I'm afraid of, I'll be honest with you, is a lot of these platforms, even with the royalty-free stuff, even though we have royalty-free, even though we own the copyright on a lot of this music, we still get dinged, especially on YouTube. So Rumble, that often doesn't happen. So no, now that will happen now that I said something, but that's basically it. Did you vote today? I voted a week ago, and I tell you, one of the comments that was, my wife and I did not vote together because of the way scheduling works here. So what we did was I voted on not this past Monday, but the Monday before my wife voted this Monday. I had about a 2-hour wait online, early voting, and you get to talk to people. You know, hey, as everyone knows, I like to talk. So I go around talking to people online, you know, around me, and it was a nice community thing to do. Got to meet our neighbors. I actually found another Lutheran in New City. It was incredible. So that makes around 3 of us, 3 families. But what ended up happening, you know, we were just talking, and everything else. Everyone is all PO'd over the candidate selection. My wife had the same thing where there was a person way out of our socioeconomic class here. Same thing. Everyone, why are we have these candidates here? Nobody. Who do I vote for? All these people suck, right? And wasn't my opinion, not my opinion, but this is what I'm hearing. And it all comes down to this. Two things. One, and we covered this several times starting in September 20 something. I think it was 27, 2023, and we covered it a couple of times. How do you get on the ballot to vote? No, on the ballot. So you're in the general election. It's a big, long, drawn out process. We're not going to do that here. But it comes down to this. If you are not supporting people in the primary process, that means that you normally, depending on the jurisdiction you're in, depending on the state, that means going and joining either a Republican, Democrat, or Democratic Party, supporting a candidate, working for a candidate, then everything else, right? And if you're not doing that, you're not going to get a good candidate. Phyllis Schlafly, who I spoke with way back in the day, she always used to say, right, Eagle Forum, I believe her son runs that organization now. I think it was Eagle Forum. But anyway, she said, Jimmy, the most powerful, and she, not only to me, to a lot of other people too. When I spoke to her personally, she said, Jimmy, the most powerful elected official in the country is your local committee person. And what's the reasoning behind that? The local committee person is one of the people who vote who gets on the ballot in the right position, depending on what state you're in, and gets to choose the candidates, gets to support the candidates, gets to communicate with the public and everything else. They're like the local neighborhood person. And we've forgotten that, especially the Republican Party. They've forgotten about that in the Northeast, the committee person. Democrats, not so much. No, they are able to have that. And I'm not going, that's basically what it comes down to is that who is that committee person and how are they getting involved? The other thing is this, probably more important, according to most, the character assassination. I've run for major political office twice. The character assassination that you experience is unbelievable. One of the reasons why I don't run for office anymore, not believe me, what annoys me is when I look down that ballot, and on that ballot, we see unchallenged people on that, incumbents, or if they're unchallenged. One of the reasons why we don't have people running for office is this character assassination. One of the reasons why I left politics, one of the minor reasons, was because I did not want my wife to go through what I go through. If I'm taking it head on, I'm taking it head on. I can handle it, believe me. But my wife, I did not want to impact her. How many spouses out there, whether they're wives or husbands or whatever the situation may be, will not run for office because of this character assassination? Back in the day, it used to be, okay, well, they say little things here, little things there, okay, whatever. Now it's not that way. It's cancel culture. There's a couple of candidates in Central Jersey who literally it was horrific what they went through. I mean, they lost businesses, they lost clients and everything else with that. With me, what happened was I had people on the campaign at a couple of facilities I was working at, and people would send me and there were people at the facility, illegal at the time, sending out and using company resources to run a campaign against me. Right. And this was at work. At the time, it was illegal. Now it's legal. You could do that. Again, this is just the way things are. You cannot. Now, let's fast forward now. When did this campaign start? It started the Wednesday after the last presidential election, whatever date that was. And it's relentless, on and on and on and on and on and on. It's ridiculous. It's caused a lot of people, I'm one of them. I haven't watched too much of this campaign for the last 5 or 6 months because it was relentless. And remember, I'm on both mailing lists for both the Democrats and the Republicans. Getting all of these ballot, all of these, making sure I'm on the air, Safety FM, making sure, getting all of this stuff constantly, text messages every 2 minutes at one point during this campaign, and you hit block, remove me from the list, and guess what? You get on another list, and again and again, and both sides do it. Way back in the day, when Obama won in 2008, I was getting the text messages starting in 2008, and they did not let up. Right, I would get one a month usually for voter registration drives, once a month, from him. Hey, we're going to be in, and since I was on the Central Jersey mailing list, hey, we're going to be down in New Brunswick having a voter registration drive. We're going to be down there. So one of our members of our campaign are going to be down there, and this went on over and over and over again. That's why he was successful. That's why he, with that. Again, and because other people were getting the same things all over the country. So what ends up happening, yes, I have a boom mic now. So one of the things that I'm burned out. What's the next president going to have to do? They're going to have to do some healing. Take a piece of humble pie. It doesn't matter whether it's President Trump or President Harris. Or if whoever the winner and losers are, we have to get along. Tomorrow, winner or loser, if your candidate, state, local, president wins, don't go around rubbing it in. If you're upset, don't go out there and start breaking stuff. Don't be like in 2020 with all these riots where nobody got convicted, very few got convicted of anything. Don't do it. I talked someone away, a number of people away, from going to January 6, 2021. I said, there's going to be a problem. We know that there's going to be a problem. So guess what? Stay the hell away. With that. So tomorrow, can we all be friends? Can we all do that? It's driving with that. Now we're going to go and we're going to take a minute out. I'm going to take the commercial break out. I have a spreadsheet going with the Electoral College.
important as physical health. Let's look out for each other. Look, these are some of the things that I learned from Jim. He has shared some hard-won lessons with us. He has learned them for over 32 years in the trenches. And if there's one thing he wants you to do with all this, make a difference. Speak up for those. Where can you get this and many other lessons? It's on Safety Wars. Available on your favorite podcast platform and on video platforms like YouTube under Safety Wars. You can always go to safetywars.com. He is also on J. Allen's Safety FM network at safetyfm.com. He also offers safety training in a variety of subjects like OSHA outreach classes, 10 or 30 hour, HAZWOPER, and many others. Give him a call at 845-269-5772 or Jim at safetywars.com.
Okay, we are back. Yeah, we have the Benny Hill style music here. Okay. All right, so sorry for the extended break here, but this is what I have here. I went and, let me back up by saying this. First time I remember watching election returns was 1972. One of my first memories. I was barely 2 years old. I was 2 years, 1 month old, a toddler. And I remember my father used to work second shift, meaning he got home at about 11 o'clock. And what I remember, I must have been up. He woke me up, whatever it was. I noticed that for whatever reason, I was up and everybody else is asleep, but my father is sitting on that recliner. And he takes me and he sits me up, and we started watching election returns. And being 2 years old, my father was like the only person who could really understand me at that age with my speech issue. He was explaining to me, and I remember him distinctly trying to explain to me what was going on with the election returns there at night. And right now, this is the first time I'm watching the election returns without my dad. Even when I moved out, when I got married and everything, we used to be on call, watching all the networks and everything together and with my parents. And this is the first time that I'm doing this and without them. And it's an honor for me to be here on Safety FM. And I want to thank Jay Allen here for this whole opportunity here to be here discussing the election with you here. It's a dream come true in a lot of ways, being here on Safety FM, and I am grateful for it. So I hope I don't disappoint here, but no. So we'll be going over some other stuff tomorrow here. So this is on my spreadsheet that I have the regular screen, we're going to head on over to, everything. Fox News is predicting everything is too close to call here. Let's see, CNN. And again, I cannot go and I cannot show this because it's all copyrighted here. So here we have in the presidential race, CNN is calling at 27 electoral votes for Harris, 90 for Trump. They're probably waiting for more things to come in. And the Senate is definitely one seat has flipped in the Senate. And Republicans are, again, ahead in the House, but that really doesn't mean anything because it's so early in the night. We're probably going to be here quite late until 11:30 or so, sort of as 12 midnight. And we'll do the best we can. I'll continue as long as it makes sense for us to continue. And if I have a stream of the thing that's of the acceptance speech, we're going to be playing that. On that, if there's one tonight, I don't expect there to be one tonight. Anyway, that's what we're looking at here. So, safety news. Let's talk a little bit about safety news here because we are Safety Wars, and we're going to have to we'll have some commentary on everything else here. So. All right, here we have the U.S. Department of Labor. It seems like everything is in what's the word I'm looking for? On a holding pattern here because of this election, to our detriment, because we want to know what the government is doing. And I read off these press releases here, and here we are at Department of Labor. OSHA only had one or two updates, and we're going to go through that. So here we have yesterday a press release. Again, racial hiring discrimination at a company in Texas. So a company in Texas has entered into an agreement with the Office of Federal Contract Compliance, one of the nation's, and this is one of the nation's largest distributors of medical supplies, to resolve alleged systemic hiring discrimination against nearly 900 Black, Hispanic, and white applicants at its Grapevine distribution facility. And going on, that's Grapevine, Texas. And basically from discriminated against the applicants for associate material handler positions from September 24, 2019 to September 24, 2021 in violation of a presidential executive order, which prohibits federal contractors from discriminating based on race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin. Again, there's impact of 472 Black, 226 Hispanic, and 186 white applicants. I wonder. No, I get the Black and Hispanic ones, right? Individuals here. I mean, that's like an obvious one. Okay, with this, I want to know what the white applicants, what they were rejected for. That's what I'm interested in on this one. Were they homosexual? Were they transgendered? Religion? Well, I don't know exactly what that was, and I hate it when they don't. On these press releases, they don't break it down. Okay, and to resolve the allegations, the company will pay $448,578 in back wages and interest, and make job offers to 32 eligible applicants. The federal contractor will also ensure its hiring procedures do not discriminate, and they will train management who oversee hiring decisions. I know, I don't get this stuff still happening. I really don't. I really don't. Explain this to me. We talked about the next one right here. Department of Labor seeks reinstatement of back wages from Pennsylvania manufacturer. that allegedly fired a worker for raising safety concerns. The U.S. Department of Labor has filed suit against a York, Pennsylvania company, alleging the company wrongfully terminated an employee who raised safety concerns when directed to use a ladder to move stock items when they believed a forklift would be safer. Filed in the U.S. District Court in the Middle District of Pennsylvania, the action follows an investigation by OSHA that determined a company violated the whistleblower protections for firing an employee for refusing to use a ladder. All right. So it sounds to me like, based on this, right? Okay, here it is. It explains this. Specifically, the employee reported that they could not maintain the required 3 points of contact to ensure ladder safety and needed to use a forklift. Investigators also learned the company negated the employee's concerns and responded that the task could easily be done while on a ladder and suggested the other employees were able to use the ladder to complete the task. After the employee held firm, the company terminated them. Every worker deserves a safe workplace and freedom to report unsafe conditions without the threat of retaliation, said OSHA Regional Administrator Michael Rivera in Philadelphia. Employers must understand that retaliation or termination for speaking up about hazards is not only unlawful, but also undermines protections meant to keep workers safe. Department suit asked the court to hold the company liable for illegal retaliation. Right. And when the employees are going on and on, I can tell you what. Now, OSHA does have a whistleblowers program page, but this should all be part of your intro to OSHA section for intro to OSHA section of an outreach program. I believe, I truly believe, based on my experience, that employers don't know this stuff. A lot of, who do they hire for a lot of these things? Nepotism, who you know. That's still, I talk to people, that's still the main thing, reason why people hire people is who do they know. So, I don't know. No, it's an issue. Fewer workers are dying no, they don't know, so someone's got to be there to tell them. I still get somebody who obviously got their safety credentials off the street, not from an outreach trainer, was shocked to find out that the employer has to supply PPE. Yeah, you got to supply PPE. You mean I have to supply safety glasses? Yeah, you got to supply safety glasses. Well, I said, an eye injury, according to safety pays, is like $30,000 it costs. Tangible and intangible costs. Your average eye injury. Why pair of safety glasses? Not much, not $30,000. This is some good news. Department of Labor encouraged by decline in worker death investigations. Now, why would they put this out today is my question, or yesterday? Fewer workers are dying from hazards when the U.S. Department of Labor, Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration has focused its enforcement resources. Preliminary agency data show a decrease in fatalities the agency is mandated to investigate, including significant reductions in fatal injuries from trench collapses, falls, to the leading main causes. Now, if you are, again, bringing up outreach training, this is like one of those documents you want to save. This is actually pretty important here. These numbers are promising evidence that stronger enforcement and collaboration with the labor and management driven by the Biden-Harris administration's workers-centered approach to saving lives, said Assistant Secretary for OSHA, Doug Parker. Most striking is the improvement in areas we have focused on with employers and unions. Our state program partners have also seen improvements. In fiscal year 2024, federal OSHA investigated 826 worker deaths, an 11% reduction from 928 in the previous year. Excluding COVID-related deaths, this is the lowest number of worker fatalities OSHA has been mandated to investigate since fiscal year 2017. Note, this is Jimmy talking, not OSHA. that they have been mandated to investigate. That doesn't mean that they investigate all of them, right? Because you have state organizations here. Again, you have to do a little bit of statement analysis here. Thread the needle a little bit. OSHA's National Emphasis Program on falls, the leading cause of serious work-related injuries and fatalities in the construction industry, saw fatal falls investigated by federal OSHA drop from 234 to 189, a decrease of almost 20%. Preliminary data from state OSHA programs, pending validation by federal OSHA, indicates that more than 15% fewer fatalities in state jurisdictions. Now, this is the important thing. Factoid here. Currently, federal OSHA covers about 60% of private sector employees, and approved state programs cover the remaining. So we got a 60-40 split here. I did not know the numbers until today when I for show prep here. And again, national reporting by federal and state OSHA programs shows workers death in the trench collapses declined by nearly 70% since the calendar year 2022. Fatalities decreased from 39 in 2022 to 15 in 2023, and to date 12 in calendar year 2024. So this is Tuesday, November 5th, right? The decreases follow intensive outreach by education by OSHA industry partners, work by state plans, and aggressive enforcement under a zero-tolerance policy for unprotected trenches, including immediate inspections and referrals for criminal prosecutions where warranted. So let's say if you're the competent person or someone in charge. I had this conversation with a project I was working on over the weekend. I worked like 40 hours this weekend between Friday night and Sunday. It was tough, not easy. So someone, with a competent person, and again, I've mentioned this, the biggest problem we have is literacy. My opinion, literacy. You mean people can't read? A lot of people are functionally illiterate, and they put them in charge because they're very good workers. And the problem often with people who are functionally illiterate, I don't mean English, I mean in any language. In this case, it was a Turkish company, and I had Turkish language resources because I have a client that is Turkish working in the United States, and I have to have documents in Turkish and in English. And I use a translation program that my client tells me is relatively pretty good. So in this case, it was another contractor that came on. I normally don't work with them. They're a Turkish contractor. And I said, look, here is the thing. Here it is. Do you know what competent person is? Oh, yeah, I know what it is. Okay, explain it to me. Well, someone who knows what they're doing. Okay, how about the OSHA definition? Because you have like 4 OSHA outreach cards on you. Couldn't answer it. I said, well, look, you're working at height here. You do realize that, like, you're the competent person, you're the person in charge, you're like legally liable for this? And then we go through it. Completely did not know this. Probably bought the certificates off the street like 50,000 other people in New York State. And then I said, I tell you what, I'm going to print out everything in your language here. I have it. That explains it. And we're going to go through job hazard analysis. And I have one written in Turkish for you here. All right. With all the hazards. And then he's like, could not read the Turkish. Someone else on his work crew had to read it in Turkish. Again, not picking on anyone. There are a lot of people who are English speakers as a primary language. I run into totally illiterate, some partially illiterate, very low reading levels, nice people, good people. People have other issues too, learning disabilities. We get all of that. We accommodate that. We help people. We want people to be safe and to work safely. But what happens is, with this, is people do not understand what the responsibilities are if they are competent persons. They have no understanding. You're responsible. By the book, you are responsible for inspecting the work area, frequent inspections, relevant inspections, making sure the worker knows what they're doing. You have to have the authority to assess hazards and also your ability to assess hazards and the authority to make changes and to stop work. If you don't have the ability to stop work, guess what? You're not the competent person. And this is often what happens here, right? We have medians, inspections, referrals for criminal prosecution. Guess what? That happens in New York and some of the other states all the time with competent persons not doing their job. The company dumps everything. Well, the competent person doesn't. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Now they go up the food chain here, so to speak. So that's something you need to realize here. Okay, while fewer workers have died from OSHA hazards, the hazards OSHA investigates, remember, the state programs, we still lose more than 5,000 workers each year in largely preventable incidents. While we're proud of this progress, our work is far from over, and this is going on with Doug Parker. Let me say, right, I have to put this on 5,000 worker myth. According to OSHA, I've shared the information here multiple times. It's actually 55,000 people, one Vietnam almost every year, because of occupational illnesses that are not discovered till later on. Just letting you know there. So it's a lot more than this 5,000. It's 55,000, not Jimmy's numbers, OSHA's numbers. And when you put it into that perspective, this little 4,000 to 6,000 back and forth really doesn't it matter. I mean, it matters to people, right? One fatality is horrible with people, but you have a lot more going on out there in the workplace with this. Here we have statement from Acting Secretary Sue on International Association of Machinists vote to accept proposed Boeing company contract. Acting Secretary of Labor Julie Sue issued the following statement on International Association of Machinists members voting to approve a new contract proposal from the Boeing company. Quote, President Biden and I congratulate the 33,000 machinists at the Boeing company on their historic new collective bargaining agreement. This agreement, with its record wage increases, retirement improvements, guaranteed productivity bonuses, and commitments by the company to keep production in Puget Sound, demonstrates what is possible when workers have a real voice on the job. When I asked the parties to come back to the table, I got to see firsthand the leadership of IAM, District 751 President John Holden, District W24 President Brandon Bryant, and the bargaining committee, as well as the importance of the direct engagement of Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg. This agreement proves yet again that collective bargaining works, and it's one of many historic wins for working people that are reshaping and strengthening American industries. With this new agreement ratified, Boeing and its machinists can now move forward to build and strengthen their partnership, which will be critical to Boeing's success. All right, that's good. With that they were able to negotiate that. I know, I don't know how it impacted Boeing's stock price here. It's probably pretty good. All right, that's what we got on that from the Department of Labor. Now we're going to add some other information here. Let's share this. Hold on. I tell you what, let's do another commercial break because we have one more item to discuss here. And then I'm going to switch on over to Rumble, Safety Wars on Rumble, periodically throughout the night with this, and not on Facebook with this because there are, they're a little bit picky about sharing some of this information I found out this last week. So we're going to go right on over to this.
fear. The gym is here, clearing starts, making it clear. Safety's more than just a gear. It's our anthem, loud and sincere. Tune in, listen close. Safety wars with Jim Bozo. On the front lines every day. Safety wars keeps danger away.
That was Safety War with the Safety Wars anthem. One version of it, at least. Yes, everything is I own, right? I own the music, or it's royalty free. So tough out there. So we did not go over this. This got past us here. And this was not finalized here. This is the top 10 most frequently cited standards for 2024. And since the numbers are so quick or so close, I doubt that these numbers will change when they are finalized, because the end of the fiscal year was September 30th of this year. October 1st was fiscal year 2025. So, and this stuff, there's a little bit of lag time, because things are, like we say, litigated, things are vacated, things are settled, negotiated, and everything else here. So these numbers are going to change a little bit, but I don't think the placement will. So we're going to go with it. So OSHA's top 10 most frequently cited standards for 2024. This got passes in September and October. Number 1, fall protection, general requirements. And if you are an OSHA outreach trainer, this should be part of your deal. And if you are a safety professional, probably it would be worth an email, if you haven't already, to your clientele on the frequently cited standards. And if you want to know if you're taking a class, if things have not been updated, usually these are the things that don't get updated. So let's start number 10. Number 10 with 1,541 violations is machine guarding. 1910-212. That's general industry 212. Missing machine guards and problems with machine guards. Number 9. Specifically, this is safety glasses. Personal protective equipment and life-saving equipment, eye and face protection, 1926-102. This is in construction, 1,814 violations. Scaffolding, 1926-451, 1,873 violations. All different things. Usually things are not inspected, or the scaffolding, people are not working on complete scaffolding. Number 7, fall protection, training requirements. How do you know whether people have been trained or not? What is OSHA? How do they find out? One is from observation, where they could see, well, maybe you had training or it wasn't effective and you're not managing it. Number 2, they ask for certificates and training records. And when they ask for that, they follow it up with where's the resume on your person doing the training, right? And were they qualified? Happens every time. Now, the other thing is this, and this is no joke here with this one, all right? There's no joke here with this, all right? I'm trying to get, right, hold on. Yeah, no joke here with this. Did you get the appropriate safety fall protection training? There's all different types of fall protection training out there. People do not get the right kind of fall protection training, but you can. You can call us, 845-269-5772. What do you mean they don't get the right one? Fall protection is fall protection. How many times do I see a fall protection card on a roof or on a floor flat roof and nobody's using it properly? About 80% of the time. Why? Because the trainers do not train on the fall protection cart that they're going to be using. I've gone through this. How about how to rig off using a lifeline? Standard lifeline, static lifeline. the rope grab on it or something similar to that. Doesn't happen. Why? Because a lot of times the people doing the training have not been trained themselves, or they're not experienced with that. Happens all the time here, folks. So now, improper training, powered industrial trucks, 1910-178. This is one of the horizontal standards where this could be construction and this could be general industry. I've seen it go both ways. Lockout, tagout. General industry, that is 1910-147. We go through a lot of those things here, right? On lockout, tagout injuries. Respiratory protection, 1910-134. During the pandemic, this was a common one. But again, what happens? You get, and again, this is one of the things that the pandemic did do was, no, the pandemic did do this. They give you a mask. We have the most deadly. Why nobody got decredentialed for this, I don't know. They give you the most deadly virus never known to man, and they give you a face covering. So what happens? I still hear this. Well, Jim, if this face covering, according to so-and-so, will protect you from the most deadly virus ever known to man, then why won't it protect me from respirable crystalline silica? Well, first you need respirable crystalline silica training, which you obviously have not had, or if you've had it, wasn't very effective. Maybe it wasn't in your own language, number one. Number two, your supervisor doesn't care. Company doesn't care. Number three, your supervisor doesn't know, or your company doesn't know. Number four, know that you need training on that, and if it's voluntary, it's Appendix D, and you need air monitoring on it. And before you know it, you have 55,000 people dying a year from this type of stuff. Ladders. 1926-1053. We go through a lot of those on this program with the ladders. Well, what do you mean? What kind of violations? Normally using a ladder improperly, either not maintaining 3 points of contact, using an extension ladder as a work platform or working surface, using a step ladder to access different levels, and things of that nature. There's all different workarounds. And hazard communication, 1910-1200, 2,888 violations. Again, not going over the hazardous chemicals in the work area. This is another one that contributes to the 50,000 people dead a year because the companies don't read these things, don't do research, don't present it, don't know PPE, no air monitoring, no air sampling, no physical, and everything else that goes into all this stuff. And then you have fall protection general requirements. This is where people aren't even wearing fall protection. Or you have a greater than 6 foot fall, and since it's construction, 1926-501, right? 1926 is construction, not wearing it, not using improperly, things of that nature, improper tie-offs. So that's basically what we have for tonight on this. And I want to thank everybody here for allowing me to do this with you tonight on this election day, right here. So hold on. We're going to how many minutes do we have here? We have 3 minutes, 37 minutes. We're, again, as a reminder, we're going to be on some other platforms later on with this. And if you have not voted yet, please go out and vote with that. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time. I imagine some states out there, there's still a lot of voting going on. We'll see you tomorrow with the results. If you don't see me on the other platform, Rumble, after this, and try to be on X and everything else out there. We'll be releasing this stuff. One last electoral college update here. We have on Fox News, they are doing it's 72 Harris, 111 Trump. CNN, what do we got? let's see. We have Harris at 27, Trump at 105. They have not updated that from what I could recall. So I look forward to seeing you in just a little bit. And have a great night.
Safety Wars is streaming now.
safetyfm.com.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast